It's the Digital Board Gamer here, and today we have a top 10 of 2025. These are my favorite top 10 games that all came out in full release in 2025. Now, a few stats for you if you're a stat person like I am. I played 347 different games last year, but those all were not new games. In fact, my third most played game is Terraforming Mars. 6 of the top 10 most played games on my list are from this year, so there are quite a few favorites that I found this year. So let's get started. At number 10, we have Up or Down coming out December 16th, 2025. So this is a really cool card game where you're building 3 stacks of cards, either going in ascending or descending order. So what's going to happen when you add a card here to the playing area, you're going to take one of the adjacent cards and then add it to your board. Not only are you trying to score the biggest stack of cards, but you're also trying to get the most of one color. Because at the end of the game, the number of cards and the number of a certain color multiplied together will give you a score for each of your stacks. So you want to try to build 3 big stacks without having to discard them, because if you discard them, they're worth less points. Overall, a fun game and plays really well on BGA. At number 9, we have Myums. Myums came out December 21st. Myums is a dice rolling game. What sets this Yahtzee style game apart from all the others is you actually only get one reroll. Many of the dice games that you play Yahtzee style, you get the normal rerolls, but this one you only get one. And at first when I played it, I thought that's kind of lame. It's going to be harder to get further and further down, these special rolls, because basically, as you get better poker hands, you score more points. But with only one reroll, it's hard to get a 5 of a kind. And that's really where these cards over here come in. You'll be slowly adding these cards down below, basically making yourself stronger. There's certain cards like this one here which always gives you an orange. So now you have a automatic orange. There's this one here that turns a watermelon into a strawberry. So there's just lots of cool little interactions like that. There's abilities, there's ways of getting more rerolls. One of my favorite cards is right here, where you permanently lose your reroll, but you gain double points. So that might be pretty bad, but there's cards like this one that give you an extra reroll. So there's a lot of cool little combos and things in this game to look out for. And it's very much driven by these cards. So if you like dice games or these card powers, you should check this one out. At number 8, and coming out February 25th, the Guilds of the Merchant Explorers. This is a flip and write game. In this game, you're an explorer and a merchant, and you're trying to basically connect 2 cities together as one way of scoring points. So you can explore these little towers all the way over here. You score some points. Of course, there's some goals here at the top that change from game to game. But basically, every area you'll go through all the basic cards, and then each area you'll gain another special card. And each card tells you to put a cube on X number of spaces, and you slowly spread out. And then as you see there at the end of the era, everything goes away with the exception of villages, and then you play through all the cards again. So just a really cool flip and write style game, and a game that we played quite a bit in February and March. So if you like flip and writes or this exploration, go ahead and check this one out. Number 7, coming all the way out almost 1 year ago, Let's Go to Japan. Came out January 21st. This is a really cool drafting game. So in this game, you are planning a trip to Tokyo or Kyoto. So each day here, you kind of want to match up with the symbol on each day. You can see here you want to visit shrines, you want to eat. Here you want to do relaxing or some money activities, shopping, and so on. Much like most drafting games, you'll see here in the first round, you'll play a card, then pass, and play a card and pass, and so on. In the middle section here, you'll play 2 cards, then pass 2, and then so on. And then at the end of the week, once you place all your cards, each visible card will score, depending if you have the matching requirements. So if you like drafting style games, this is definitely one you should check out. Now, number 6 is going to be a little bit weird of a game because I can't really show you anything on it because it is no longer available. My number 6 game is the Lord of the Rings Fate of the Fellowship. It came out May 28th, and then I think November-ish they took it off. November, December, they took it off in 2025. But it was just a really cool take on the pandemic style system, but it definitely felt a lot different. And I played a ton of it, especially solo. So we knew from the get-go that this game wasn't going to be around forever. We only got a few of the scenarios to try out, but it was a really cool thing. And even though it's gone, it was a cool concept of, hey, try this game out, and then if you enjoy it, buy it physically. My hope is maybe in the future, since a lot of the coding is done, not everything is coded because we didn't have all the missions and whatnot, but since it's already there, maybe a few years down the line, maybe they'll throw it back in here, maybe when an expansion comes out or something along those lines, and maybe we'd get it again, maybe the full base game to try to get you to buy that expansion. So we'll have to see. But Fate of the Fellowship, that's my number 6. At number 5, we have Pioneer Days, a dice resource management game. You can see here there are different color dice, but each dice have the same faces, and basically the dice you take is the action you're going to be doing. So, for example, if I take the medicine here, I could either do $6 medicine or take this character down below. Where the fun is that whatever dice gets left in this table at the very end of the round, it's going to move up the disaster track. And then when it hits here, the disaster hits everyone. So it's kind of a fun system. Okay, well, I really want the blue dice, but if I leave this black dice, it actually moves over all the disaster tracks. So maybe I don't want that to hit. Maybe I need to take the medicine and leave the blue along so only the storm track will move over. Now, these are both the standard Pioneer, but there's a lot of fun characters to help kind of build a certain way. What I mean by that is there's characters that do certain things that might lend you to going more cattle or more equipment and so on. So I played a ton of this. This was one of the only games I tried to get super competitive at. I think I made it in the top 10 in the rankings. So I don't have a lot of time to play a game that high a level, that many games. But this is a game I got 72 plays in just a few months. So overall, a great game. I loved it turn-based, and I played quite a few of this real time when it was more popular on BGA. At number 4, we have Skull King, a trick-taking game. Now, this one here is the lowest amount of plays on my list. The reason for that is Skull King is a game that I play constantly with a group of friends. We almost always have a game going constantly over and over and over. And we play turn-based in it, so it takes a while to get through a game. So even though I don't have the most plays on this is definitely something I super enjoy. I've played a lot of Wizard with them, a lot of Teach You, and this one is just so much fun and chaotic. So if you don't know this game, the biggest thing that I enjoy about it is this bidding system. So it's round 8, so there's going to be a total of 8 tricks out there, and everyone's going to look at their hand and they're going to decide how many tricks they're going to take. So here, yo ho ho, and you see we have 3, 3, 0, and 1. So in this hand here, there's going to be 1 extra trick. So you have to be very careful, especially the guy that bid 0 here, not to take too many tricks. In this game here, we have special cards like the Pirate that do special actions. There's the actual Skull King, who's beats all the pirates. But overall, it's just a great, fun trick-taking game if you've played trick-taking. That's my number 4. At number 3, we have Ariato, September 7th. This is another drafting combo game. So in this drafting game, you're going to be dealt 5 cards each round. 2 are going to be passed to your opponent. 1 is going to go up in your village, and then 2 you're going to discard for the resources. So you can see on the card where they go in your village. The color here is what they discard for, and then down below gives you some ability if they're in the village. You're going to be playing a total of 12 rounds, and each round there is a goal you need to complete. I just really enjoyed the drafting and the planning in this game. You definitely have to look at the objectives up here and decide, okay, this one here says I need to have 3 different cards in my village by the 4th round. So I know in the first 3 rounds, I need to try to get 3 different color characters in my village. So overall, that planning is a lot of fun. The drafting is quite a bit of fun. You are passing the 2 cards you don't want to your opponent on the left, and you'll get more cards, and then so on. So overall, just a really good drafting game that I did enjoy quite a bit this year. At number 2, we have Welcome to the Moon. This one came out May 20th with an asterisk, because when it first came out, there was just 3 different adventures. So if you look here, the game does have 8 different adventures, which are 8 different maps that you can play on. And I think that's really what stands this one apart from the other 2 Welcome to games. We have both of them on BJ, Welcome to, and then Welcome to Las Vegas. But I think having these 8 different maps really makes it different. And I really like how you can play the random adventures because most of these are really fun maps to play. There's just one on here I really don't enjoy very much. I think it's the battle one, the one where you're flipping the map back and forth. I didn't enjoy that one as much. So if you're not familiar with the Welcome to mechanisms, you basically is a flip and right style game. You're going to have 2 cards here, and during your turn, you can either cross off a 10 energy, a 1 plant, or a 9 energy. And then what makes it different is every different board plays quite a bit different, but it's all relatively the same rules. There's just about another minute or 2 rules you have to read or watch a video for each map, but the main concept is all the same. You want to go from low numbers on the left up to higher numbers on the right, and you have to go in order, so you have to be really careful, just like in Welcome to put your 1s down here and your 15s up here and try to fill in the middle. One of my favorite experiences this year in tournaments was a Welcome to tournament. I love playing this game 2 players because, like many 2-player games, when it's my turn on turn-based games, I do a turn, hit enter, it shows me what my opponent did, and then I can go again. And then my opponent, when he logs on, he does his 2 moves, and then it goes back to me and so on. So overall, this is a great turn-based game as well. So if you've played Welcome to, or maybe the Vegas one, but you haven't played this one, definitely should try it out. And you might as well play them in order 1 through 8. And at number 1, we have Stone Spine Architects. To no one's surprise, this is a drafting style game. So you can't see the hand that I'm holding in this game in this replay, but you're going to have dealt a hand of cards. You're going to be drafting, so taking one of the cards, passing them around, but you're going to be building a dungeon. You kind of have an outline here of what cards you want in what spot, but at the same time, you can see every card down here is worth a certain amount of money. Then you're going to spend the money over here on the market to maybe add some monsters in a certain area you need, or maybe the monsters or traps will help you with your challenges you're going to take. Once you spend as much money as you want, you're going to grab a challenge, and then you set your money to 0, and then we go to the next round. These are kind of goals that are for yourself here. You'll get these in the first couple rounds. And then, of course, there's a goal card here that everybody's going to be fighting over as well. So with all that information present, you're trying to draft the best dungeon. Another cool thing is you actually want to try to create a dungeon, meaning they go from the start, and then they follow all the pathways, and then they get to the exit. Every piece that touches the entrance and the exits are worth more points. If they only touch the entrance, they're worth half as much, and so on. Overall, just another great drafting style game. Well, there's my top 10 of 2025. Let me know down in the comments what your favorites were. And if you liked the video, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. As always, I've been the Digital Board Gamer. Good luck and have fun.